Welcome back to Fog Racing here. We're back with another race review. But before we get stuck into any part, well, I say any part, the end, we'll kick off right at the beginning. Romain Grosjean gets tagged by Kvyat, right? And I've seen a lot of people, like, thankfully Grosjean's alright, right? And nothing happened. A few minor injuries, broken ribs, right? And I've seen a few people blaming Kvyat for this. If you're blaming Kvyat for this, you don't have a fucking Scooby about F1. Grosjean just cuts completely. Grosjean did what he did in Belgium 2012, essentially. Only difference is here, Grosjean's the guy that pays for it. I mean, it's Grosjean's fault, but I wouldn't be like, oh, he's calling him, because again, you're died, but people blame Kvyat for this, man. Tools. But Grosjean hits the wall, and the car just goes up in flames, and when watching it, I was like, jeez, we just witnessed a guy die here. Because I remember watching the F2 race where Hugh Burr died. I remember watching the race where Bianchi died. And I think that's the only two I've watched it. Because I wasn't around when big Senna and the other Ratsberger died. But just watching this, you got that feeling that because they were never cutting back with it. Just the fact the car evaporated. Like, it literally just went up. Thankfully he's alright though, and I think it's just a few broken ribs and a few minor burns to his hands and ankles, but I think it's a miracle how he got out of that car, man. But yeah, so Grosjean's alright. The start, the grid got mixed up here, and then they changed it for the restart. They did it on the second safety car line, which was a bit idiotic, but thankfully, yeah, Grosjean's alive. We move into the classification now. It was Hamilton, from Verstappen, from Albon, from Norris, from Sainz, Gasly, Ricciardo, Bottas, Ocon, Leclerc, Kvyat, Russell, Vettel, Latifi, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, then Perez, and Stroll, Grosjean. So we had the second standing start. This went down as you expect, nothing really particularly happening, but then Stroll got flipped by Kvyat, which, yes, this was definitely more on the Kvyat side. I think Stroll didn't really leave him enough room, but it was a really audacious manoeuvre for Daniel Kvyat. And then get another safety car. Bottas gets a puncture, so he drops to the back of the grid. We hear Vettel complaining about a move that Leclerc did, even though there was nothing wrong with it. Like, mate, he's going down the inside into turn 1. Like, there's a reason why you're 15th and was like 7th after like the second restart. Because, mate, Vettel, you're pish. And then the race kind of died down. It was kind of just a two-horse race up front. Hamilton never really looked threatened. Bottas coming through didn't exactly do much. The Reynolds squabble chiller essentially cost them both. To Norris and Sainz, Perez had Albon beat, and then sadly his engine went. But not sadly for me, because I had a bet on Albon to finish the winner within the top 3, Merck and Verstappen. So that happened, man. And absolutely insane. But, like, the race particularly wasn't that great. Part of those, just about this season, there seems to be a lot of, like, even if the race isn't that good, there just seems to be a lot of, like, Mugello, like, the race in itself wasn't that good, but the amount of mayhem and shit was brilliant. And I'm sure there's been other tracks where it's been like that. Like, even like the Silverstone races, they were kind of dull, but the tyre drama heated it up, and like punctures at the end and stuff like that. Even with Imola, like at the end, Max's tyre went, and then you had all that at the end. So another decent enough race, guys. Hamilton wins yet again. Max kept him honest. I think Hamilton's lucky as well, because one, he didn't get the damage that Bottas got. That had the force in the pit, which could have been, it could have been anyone to be fair. And then there wasn't enough laps left for the safety car to really help Max, and he'd be on a lot better tyres at the end. So that didn't really help him, but Max did a 4-stopper, which is insane. And I feel for Perez, like, I don't know, I think Perez gets shafted today. And Albon's not that good. He get destroyed by Perez in an inferior car. That's kind of the bottom line here. But until next time, peace.